Good evening, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is David Okon. I'm talking about YouTube, and we're looking at things like blogging in YouTubing, and how YouTube works, where people are working in YouTube. We're looking at the press, YouTube culture and trending, and all the rest of it. This is all about YouTube good products for the kids, music, original formatting, podcast premium, select, studio TV. So products for businesses, as in developers, and for advertising, for creators, creating content for kids, research, looking at service directory, artists, looking at creators like in content creation, and many others. YouTube commitment, they make commitments looking at creators bringing changes, and all the rest of it, social impact. They comment below, we are YouTubers, we are impacting society, impacting life. YouTube primary mission to give everyone a voice, showing the world to the people of the world, believing that everyone deserves a voice, that the world is a better place when we listen, share, building community through telling stories. This is the outlook of YouTube. We have been here before. In the scientific, the technology, transportation, adventures, food, delicacy, things you enjoy. Perhaps also gardening. Perhaps also sports. Entertainment, different form of creativity. So the workings, looking at the working of YouTube in creation of contents and other aspects, culture and trending, will looking at blogging. We have been there before, looking at YouTube commitments. Look at millions coming to access the platform. It's all about the information, inspiration, and also having fun. And therefore, we look at the workings of YouTube. So we expect responsibilities, one kind or another. Responsibility for the platform, for users, for creators, for artists, looking at the community. And so we have been here before. Stay tuned, continue watching. If you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel. Click like, click notification bell, leave a comment. Watching, share with family and friends. Thank you so much. So we are looking at YouTube and in its endeavors to make the place a safe environment by way of improvements, removing content which violates policies, reducing spread of harmful misinformation, raising up authoritative sources for news and information, and rewarding creators. And let me know your thoughts. The matters of security let's look at managing harmful content in terms of YouTube's commitment. So you look at YouTube as a facility where anyone can use a platform to upload a video, can share a video, sharing this with the rest of the world, exercising a sense of openness, coming also with incredible opportunity, but also bringing about challenges. Balancing acts between creative expression with responsibility to protect the community from harmful content. Therefore, there are the 4 areas: removing contents which violate policies as quickly as possible, reducing spread of harmful misinformation and content which are actually borderline brushing against policies, policy line, raising up authoritative resources when people are looking for news and information, rewarding trusted and eligible creators and artists. Stay tuned, continue watching, leave a comment below. You're looking at our YouTube. Look like we have been here before. Subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't subscribed. Subscription is free. Clicking like is free. Takes seconds. Therefore, leaving a comment also is important because I need to know what your thoughts are while looking at community guidelines. We are linking this with YouTube's core sense of commitment and their responsibilities. Policies here are being designed to ensure the community being protected, portraying what may or may not be allowed on YouTube, applying these to all types of content on the platform, including videos, comments, links, and thumbnails. Therefore, issues like hate speech, harassment, child safety, violence, extremism, among others. Comment below if you know anything about these factors. Therefore, YouTube develops a policy in partnership with a wide range of external industry and policy experts, as well as YouTube creators, systematically reviewing policies to make sure that the policies are current. They make updates, for example, on hate crime or hate speeches, harassment policies. For example, policies as relating to one created in 2019, rolling out the policy 2020 policy to address harmful conspiracy theory content. If you know anything about conspiracy theory, let me know. COVID-19 medical misinformation policy. Look, talking about COVID-19. Talk about policy COVID-19, which has evolved throughout the course of the pandemic. And in our dispensing, we probably have already notice the impact of COVID-19 in every sector of our operational utilities. And therefore, removal is quite important. And where violation and policy infringement occur, this is done, removal is done quickly as possible. There are a combination of people and machine learning to detect a potentially problematic content on a massive scale. It's big. YouTube is big on disciplinary procedure. And so therefore, to remind users, content creators, and people who actually participate on this platform that in much as we are allowed to do our bits, YouTube also, in as much as giving opportunities, there is also a sense of responsibility and sometimes threat. Because if you act contrary to rule, there is a possibility that you're going to be removed temporarily or permanently. Permanently may mean termination of your content, and also meaning the end of your working on the YouTube channel system. Therefore, it is extremely important, especially if you are a content creator, that you understand these rules, particularly community guidelines, so that you don't fall foul of the consequences of violation. A lot of people, a lot of the time, are invested immensely time, resources to build a channel, building contents, and they have turned YouTube into an opportunity where they rely on YouTube as a source of income in its primacy, and the losing of which will spell havoc, especially if you live in Africa, Asia, but also in Europe and America, as well as in other continents such as Australia, or even the Arctic. I count 7 continents. If you count below how many continents you count, many different people count differently, depending on their mindset. There is also the Arctic regions. The Arctic region is also a continent in some school of information, and not to be really taken too seriously, because we are one world, we are a global system, and YouTube in many ways is evidence of globalization, which means our understanding of one region may or may not directly or indirectly impact on our understanding of the other. And therefore, YouTube undertakes certain specific approach to use experts who are trusted. Also, there is somebody called Trusted Flagger program. This helps them spot potentially problematic content by reporting it directly to YouTube authorities. So therefore, they go at great lengths to make the content, to make sure that content violating policies is widely viewed, is not widely viewed. So if you struggle sometimes with viewership, perhaps you are being monitored, comment below if that is your experience. Sometimes you feel as if you are not being watched. Sometimes potentially YouTube might have intervened to prevent people from watching your content, because probably you are being warned, you're on warning, you are probably being monitored. Maybe, who knows, could be one thing or another, but normally it's a minefield, because there are so many of these rules, and sometimes you are not given even a warning, you are not given a chance Because what you have done, according to YouTube, is extremely bad. And if you've done something extremely bad, as they think you must have done, they then remove you almost immediately forever. And that will be a grave loss, because YouTube is trending. Social media is the future of communication or participation, even on doing business. Anything you do online will be done online, and YouTube is a major factor, a major player in the future of the digital age, or the nanotized age, because nano age is actually replacing a digital age. Age in nanotechnology, replacing the digital technology, nanotization of society, replacing the digitization of society. The digital replace the analog. This is the process. These are the secrets of technologies. If you are a technician, leave a comment below. Let me know what you are thinking is in terms of technology. YouTube is extremely important. Be the master of your space, of your craft. As a YouTuber, you have to be a technician in the modern age sense of the word. So they use things like automated flagging systems, helping them detect and review content even before it's seen by the community. And therefore, YouTube can prevent your content from being watched or even existing before anybody sees it, if it is detected. So like many things in technological, what they are using now is work in progress, and it's progressing quickly. And it is only common sense, if you have an interest or if you don't have interest in YouTube. It is fundamentally important for people to provide compliance. If you are an accessor of the space, then you are the one to show the way. Something called leadership is required if you are a content creator, if you are a compliance minister in the YouTube sector. Leave a comment below how you may or may not help in this economy, in this estate. Thank you so much. So this is the identification of contents. This is the human input, looking into content. They do reviewing, evaluating whether such a content violates the policy. There's a rigorousness. There's a rigor with which they operate as effectively as they are helpful. If you can't beat them, join them. So removal follows where contents are deemed as violating. And these also are sometimes used for training purposes, training machines for better coverage in the future. Looking at content reviewers, protecting content with a clear educational, documentary, scientific, artistic purpose. EDSA. Leave a comment below if you know anything about EDSA. Educational, documentary, scientific, and artistic purpose. So there is a leniency. If you want to be an avid YouTube operator, as a content creator or something else. Perhaps you may consider to be educational in your content creation, a documentarian, a scientific, astuteness, if you like, artistic, a proficiency within purpose, and see how it goes with these resources. And therefore, if you visit the YouTube platform, you will find this information there and enjoy yourself. In as much as you do things, whether you are a user, whether you're a content creator, artist, or some other thing, knowledge is strength and power, and that's what I'm trying to do. Leave a comment below, let me know if you think what I say makes sense. Stay tuned, continue watching. Thank you so much. Let us look at reduction of spread, how to reduce the spread of harmful misinformation and borderline content. Harmful misinformation and borderline content. Talk about reduction. So you have community guidelines. They are a set of rules of the road for content on the YouTube. There will always be content that brushes up against policies, but doesn't quite cross the line. So you talk about reduction. And normally, there are these type of materials which are looked at and YouTube is vigilant. Even if they are not necessarily very harmful, they are reduced. Talk about harmful misinformation and borderline content. So they are reduced. The other one is removed because they are actually violators. If you are about to, or almost looking like your behavior is suspicious, such that your conduct is disturbing, so you are reduced. YouTube takes steps to reduce those kind of contents which do not actually violate, but they look really very dodgy, almost on the borderline. On the borderline, just about violating. These are reduced. How do they do that? So talk about recommendation systems. YouTube is making changes to recommendation systems to reduce the spread of borderline content, resulting in a 70% drop in watch time on non-subscribed recommended content in the US. That here, YouTube also saw a drop in watch time of borderline content coming from recommendation in other markets. Therefore, if you don't actually violate content and your behavior is borderline, and then your recommendation is limited and your viewership is reduced, so you suffer a situation of stagnancy. Whereas if you were not suspected or behaving in an erratic way, you're borderline as a content, you're almost about to offend the rules, but you are not offending, then you are actually treated such as not really. I mean, you are impacted because your channel is not going to grow. The growth of your channel is going to be reduced. Sometimes people wake up in the morning and they post videos and the video is not moving anywhere because of the nature of your content. Most often, you are posting videos which are not really violating, but they are borderlines. Borderlines, they are brushing against the policy, community policy and guidelines. YouTube will deal with its reductive approach to make sure you are not really recommended effectively. Your recommendation is reduced, and you have a 70% drop in watch time. And that is the Lord look. If you don't actually break the rules, but you are just about that, you are tending to what you are. Your content is so disturbing that YouTube take a preemptive approach to reduce that kind of content. I don't know what they exactly do. They use the recommended. They don't recommend. They were wanting to recommend your video, because if they recommend your video, your video will be watched. Your video is not being watched. The chances are that they are not being recommended. This is some system they used, and also going forward, they are also rolling out changes of the recommendation system to reduce borderline content in every market where we operate. So they are everywhere. This on the increase. If your borderline recommendation is going to be reduced, and therefore, if you post a content, you find that people are not watching your channel, which means YouTube is actually blocking your content partially. They're not blocking it completely. They are because you are borderline. They are punishing you because you are actually you are tending toward violating the community rules. So community rules are extremely important, especially if you're a content creator, and explaining why sometimes your channel doesn't grow and people don't watch it. You post a video and sometimes only 2 or 3 people are watching your channel and you don't know why. You have to really read the rules. You have to understand the rules of the place, and you are probably the victim of a reductive policy and practice of YouTube, whether where you are not being recommended, or the propensity of YouTube recommending your content is reduced. So you suffer these consequences. And leave a comment below and let me know what you think about this kind of situation. A lot of time people just suffer in silence. That this information is online on a YouTube a website, on the platform. You can read it take time. You can read it if you're a content creator, especially if you're a participant in the productive sense of the word participation. You do well to try and understand what is happening. So you talk about algorithmic changes, taking time to ramp up. You might see consumption of borderline content go up and down, and our goal is to keep views of non-subscribed recommended borderline content below 0.5. So they are very vigilant. Behavior is key. Let us looking about the policy of raising authoritative content, and you talk about different types of signals, such as relevance and popularity. You talk about authoritative content, relevance. You talk about signs of authority, relevance and popularity. And comment below if you know what relevance and popularity that matter in determining which video you typically see in YouTube search and recommendations. So popularity are signals which are taken into account. Relevance also taken into account, and these are things which matter in determining which videos you typically see in YouTube search and recommendations. And when you are not raised, if you're not promoted by YouTube for visibility, for example, then you suffer invisibility. Your channel doesn't grow quickly. However, when it comes to topics such as news, politics, medical and scientific information, we know that there is no substitute for authoritativeness. And authoritative is absolutely providing absoluteness. As such, and you talk about information, news, politics, medical and scientific information, and YouTube pay close attention to this in terms of authoritativeness and no substitutability. That's why the have introduced a range of features to tackle this change holistically. Whatever that means, leave a comment below. Let me know what that may or may not mean. Raising up authoritative contents. This is what we're talking about. And for example, in search results and recommended videos, we talk about the algorithm in terms of search results, monitoring search results, how people behave, and also recommending videos, and while raising authoritative voices for newsworthy events and topics prone to misinformation. So there's a dedicated product featuring such as found when breaking news in that sense, and also top news shelf which feature relevant videos from authoritative news. So this is some of the example. Context is critical when evaluating information. So we also provide information panels that feature text-based information alongside certain search results and videos to help you make more your own decisions about content that you find on YouTube. So therefore, authority, if you are providing authority, means you have to back up everything with evidence which are produced by people who are recognized for their statuses, maybe well-known researchers, well-known authorities, maybe government officials, or even public figures, or like mainstream media people who are trusted and respected. So we have a society of class. If you don't have class, you have to be careful what you do on YouTube, more or less, there is, I would say, this amount of discrimination between people of the upper class and the lower class. Because if you come from the upper class, there is YouTube discriminate to respect you. If you are maybe a Donald Trump, even if you are a criminal convict, you probably are listened to more than somebody who is on the street. For example, I'm just giving it as an example. I'm not saying YouTube is doing it, but if you live in a society where there is a class system and people with resources, people with wealth are the ones allowed to be dominating even a system, a social media system such as YouTube. This is where we are heading. So we'll talk about raising authoritative materials. Let us talk about reward then, and how trusted creators and artists are rewarded by YouTube. How do they do that? And being accepted into the YouTube partnership program, which is a major milestone on the creators' journey. As part of the YPP, creators can start monetizing their content as well as gaining access to dedicated support and benefit. Now, if you are not monetized, you suffer the consequences of dedicated support and benefits. You don't get it because you are small. I mean, we live in a modern world. If you are small, you suffer lack. So you don't get, you're not even trusted if you are small, because you have to grow. I mean, if you go along the plane of progress on YouTube, you are maybe being punished for violating content rules. Your behavior is not acceptable by YouTube. You begin to lose. You suffer loss. And in terms of content creation, if you're not trusted, it means you're probably somebody who your content is borderline in terms of violating violating the rules of functioning. Then you are probably categorized as somebody who is not trusted. If you're not trusted, YouTube is not going to give you anything to gain with. I mean, you cannot gain access to dedicated support, like being recommended, being supported, even financially. I mean, you're not going to get money because you're not going to grow anyway. You are doing something wrong. You don't really comply with the rules. You don't behave properly. YouTube punishes you one way or the other, like we have seen with removals. We have seen with reduction of contents which are really problematic, and also focusing instead on raising authoritative contents and also rewarding trust and worthiness. So if you are to apply to YPP, channels must meet eligibility threshold related to watch time and subscribers after the applied. YouTube review team ensure that only channels that meet eligibility threshold and follow all of our guidelines are admitted to the programs, which makes them eligible to receive access to ads and other monetization products. So your compliance is really a source of carrot. You are fed, you are looked after, you are bathed, you are carried, you are cuddled, you are loved. If you comply, if you don't comply, you are beaten and kicked and burned and thrashed. You are punished and you get the stick, and probably you get killed. That is what termination means. If you are terminated, your channel is dead because you don't follow rules. So follow rules is a really good idea if you are a content creator, especially in terms of reward. If you are not rewarded, then you are in trouble because you are going to suffer losses. So advertisers typically do not want to be associated with controversial or sensitive content on YouTube. If you are about controversy, then you smell a rat yourself, or somebody will smell a rat for you. Which means you are not going to be rewarded because, for example, typical advertisers, which are actually the drivers of income or rewards in this sector. So they typically do not want to be associated with controversial or sensitive content on YouTube. Sensitive content can go from anything to one thing to another. So if you like controversy, if you are prone to in issues of sensitivity, then I think the first lesson is to try and be positive. Even if you talk about death, even if you talk about diseases, try to be positive, try to be nice to yourself, try to be nice to the world. Learning is a tool of providence, if you like. And so, this is about reward. And what do we say? We'll talk about advertiser-friendly content guidelines. Take a look at this. Be an expert. Advertiser-friendly content guidelines. If you can produce advertiser content friendly, YouTube will probably recommend this to support you so that you grow and you get more reward. And so if a creator has turned on hard monetization for a video, but our reviewers and automated system determine that the video does not comply with our advertiser-friendly content guideline, the video will have limited or no ads appear against it, which means that they won't be able to make money on that video. We may also suspend a creator's channel from the YPP for severe or repeated violation of our YouTube monetization policy. So if you are monetized, you can be demonetized as well. Some people get monetized and they begin to behave like they can do anything in the world. There is nothing like that. YouTube, where there is a rule, you can either gain or lose your rewards. Rewards in life is quite important. If you work in a place or you participate in a place and you are not rewarded directly or indirectly, even financially or non-financially, in terms of reputation, in terms of opportunities, in my opinion, is also a type of reward, even if you are not being paid yet. So good behavior pays on YouTube. Bad behavior can be severely punished. If you think you can misbehave on YouTube because you are free to speak, people talk to you about freedom of speech, you need to know that where there is rule, there are limited as freedom of speech. In practice, we may speak in theory of freedom of speech, which is something we desire, but in the real world, we need to pay more attention to rules and compliance more than freedom of speech. If you think something is extreme, we are humans, we have instinct. If your instinct guides you to avoid extremism, then you probably are going to prosper on YouTube as a participant of any sort, of one sort or another. And leave a comment below, let me know your thoughts on these precepts and prospects. Stay tuned, continue watching. Let us therefore, we take responsibility for our lives and for membership.
So responsibilities are the number one focus, and everything we do is seen through that lens. Talk about responsibility, we talk about it over and over again. This is not just about YouTube, it's a walk of life. You have rights, which is freedom of speech, freedom of participation, your rights to function in one way or the other. That is your right. He has a brother or a sister which is known as responsibility in life, and on YouTube, this is their primary focus. Their responsibility is number one. Responsibility is their number one focus. And everything they do is seen through that lens. Without responsibility, YouTube does not exist. Participants, users will disappear. Content creators will not be there if there is no responsibility. And as much as there is right, people need to remember this very well. And this is not just about YouTube, but everywhere you go in your life, you have to take responsibility. You have to really embrace your rights and opportunity. And therefore, the downsides, both from a user and business perspective, drastically outweigh all consideration. The downside, both from a user and a business perspective, drastically outweigh all consideration. So this is how it looks like with YouTube commitment in terms of managing the platform and also optimizing YouTube community. And I'm so excited that we have been talking about this aspect. I will talk about managing harmful content, and also talking about supporting integrity. Next time we meet, we are going to talk about factors such as standing up to hate crime, to hatred. And if you know what hate is, then YouTube also stand up for hate, and how they do that, protecting community from hate and harm and harassment, and fighting misinformation, like we said, content misinformation, and curbing extremist content, supporting political integrity, partnering with researchers, preventing bias, and use policy and use principles, and optimizing product, and actually emphasizing why it is so important, fostering user safety, protecting user data, and safeguarding copyright, sharing of revenue, promoting digital well-being, responsible artificial intelligence. This we will look in turn, and this is YouTube commitment. We also will look at product features, user settings, rules and policy, progress and impact. And you have been watching this far. You are warmly welcome. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to this YouTube channel. Leave a comment below. And I'm so grateful that you came, that we look at these propositions, these standpoints by YouTube in terms of their policy program and also their commitment, their sense of responsibility and obligation, and also their desire to provide a platform which avails an avenue of freedom of speech, and also opportunity, provide opportunity one way or the other. And I'm so grateful. And subscribe to this YouTube channel. Click notification bell for more content so that you don't miss any content. And do your best watching. If you do, share with family and friends, and leave a comment below as always. And be positive as you are productive and careful to observe the rules, and also providing sensitivity to the challenges and the opportunities coming with the social media, but in particular YouTube, as we are on and speaking about. See you in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye. Therefore, we take responsibility.